little intro. Isn't that the best?
I love it too.
Yes, it's awesome.
So catchy and spunky and fun. Hey everyone, welcome to the Isn't It Romantic Book Club. We are beaming in live to our Isn't It Romantic Book Club. We're live on YouTube. We're in Team Sourcebooks, Jenny's Page Turners, and My Dangerously Dark Darlings. So give us a shout out if you're watching us. Let us know where you're from. We always get a kick out of hearing that. We're going to be talking tonight about our very own Jenny's Take the Honey and Run, which we just all adored. I don't know how anybody could not adore this book.
Oh, it was wonderful.
Yes, and got the cutest cover ever. So I'm Abbie Roads. I write dark romantic thrillers. I tell people think like an episode of Criminal Minds meets a love story with a twist. I have a little stack of books here. There's Dangerous Dreams and Broken Dreams and Shattered Dreams and let me get this right. Defying Evil. Okay.
That's a great cover. Love it.
I love that cover.
This week where Capturing Fate's cover, a lovely reader pointed out that I put Defying Evil on the spine, even though it was Capturing Fate's cover. So,
no.
Yes, and published
These
it.
These are the little things that happen.
Published it out into the world, and readers have it, and they're all like, "Oh, look, I got one!" And I'm like, "Oh my god, hiding."
Collector's edition.
They will be worth money one day, Abbie.
Yeah, I hope.
I'm gonna put your copies and sign them and put them aside.
And then I discovered after that in Capturing Fate on the title page had a typo. Oh my god, I can't do anything right. So that's me.
It's been a week for all of us. It has been a week. Well, hello everybody. I'm Diana Muñoz Stewart. I write romantic suspense for The Strong of Heart. My latest series, Spy Makers Guild, is out. Hidden Justice, Fighting Fate, and Reckless Grace. And the newest one, Daring Honor, is coming up on Halloween. So I originally was going to have it go earlier in October, but I have a wedding at my house on October 14th. And you do not know the amount of effort that goes into having a wedding at your house. I mean, it is just insane. So I had to push it back to Halloween, which is more fun anyway. So it'll be out on Halloween.
Good.
Daring Honor, it's called.
And so I'll go next. My name is Sharon Wray. I write romantic suspense. My most current book is Love's Last Kiss in the Deadly Force series, but I also write motorcycle club romances.
I love that cover.
And I just want to say I have a book in the Love is in the Air anthology. It just came out this week. It's actually the Halloween story I wrote last year, but I put it in this book because this one, all proceeds go to breast cancer research.
Oh, wow, that's great.
It's all sweet second chance love stories. So if you love sweet second chance love stories, mine has a fall theme.
I do.
During a Halloween haunted tour, house tour. And so anyway, it's 99 cents, but 100% of the net proceeds go to breast cancer research. So I'll drop that link in the comments anyway. Okay, tonight, I'm so excited. Jenny's here. Even though we all know her, I'm still going to read her bio.
Yes.
Jennie Marts is a USA Today bestselling author of award-winning books filled with love, laughter, and always a happily ever after. She loves genre mashups, and her books range from Western romance to cozy mysteries, but all have the charm and appeal of quirky small-town life. Living out her own happily ever after in the mountains of Colorado, she's addicted to Diet Coke, adores Cheetos, and believes you can't have too many books, shoes, or friends. Which I totally agree with. Welcome, Jenny.
Welcome.
Hi. Hi, everybody. I love seeing all the people that are showing up. Hi, Chelsea. Hi, PM. Hi, Allison. So fun. Oh, my gosh. Canada. Who is here from Canada?
Diana Emerson is from Canada.
So
and Pam's here. Yeah.
Well, someday I'm going to go visit the set of Heartland because Canada is like so beautiful, and I just want to see the set of Heartland so bad over there in Canada.
You talked about that show so much that I got my mom into it, and she watched the whole thing. Like it's 15 years or something, like crazy. And she watched the whole thing. She loved it. Loved it.
Aww.
So thank you for that.
That's the kind of thing when you get done watching it, you like really miss it because you've invested, you know?
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I'd love to see it though.
Well, it's a horsey girl show. So, and I'm kind of a horsey girl, you know, I love horses, cowboys.
And we love cozy mysteries. So why don't you give us a rundown? What is this
the story about? Okay, so Take the Honey and Run. This is my newest cozy mystery. So a lot of times you'll see they say it's my debut cozy mystery, but I do have a whole series of cozy mysteries out. But this is my debut with Crooked Lane. I'm super excited about this one. And this is the story of Bailey Briggs. She's a single mom mystery author who returns home to her small mountain town of Humble Hills. I have some little side notes, sorry. And she and her 12-year-old daughter, Daisy, arrive to hear her grandmother, who she calls Granny B. Her grandmother's Blossom Briggs. All the Briggs women are named after a flower. And so she arrives home to hear her grandmother, Granny B, threatening to kill the town mayor. And then the next morning, of course, Bailey discovers the mayor's dead body, and Granny B's Honey, I'm Home, hot spiced honey turns out to be the murder weapon. Now Granny got herself into this sticky situation, and Bailey has to use her fictional detective skills to solve a real murder and keep her grandmother from ending up behind bars. Oh, and did I mention that upon arriving in town, she runs into Sawyer Dunn, the love of her life, who she hasn't seen in 13 years. And not since he got shipped off to his uncle's farm in Montana the night they stole a tractor and accidentally drove it into a pond. And did I also mention that Sawyer happens to be the town sheriff?
I got to tell you, I love, like, guys, if you've not read this, one of my favorite scenes in the book is when she finds the body and Sawyer's there with her and she calls 911 and gets her friend, her old high school friend, on the phone. And the friend's like, hold on, let me call the sheriff. And then Sawyer's standing right there, and she didn't realize he was the sheriff. I just love that. That was
a great scene. That was great.
Okay, so somebody made a comment, and I'm just going to tell you guys, I already told the girls we are not revealing the murderer tonight.
Yeah.
So someone made a comment, be careful what you say. So I want everyone, if you haven't read it yet, I totally want you to read it. I love whoever just said they're number 3 at the library and they're dying to get it at the library. Thanks for supporting local libraries. But don't worry, we will not tell the murderer tonight.
They had to tell me that because I was going to definitely say.
Well, I loved it because it's such a trademark Jennie Marts book, right? There's a little bit of romance. There's the quirky older people, you know, like the grandmother, and then the hive, and it's got all of those elements that are in your cowboy books as well. So it was kind of felt like it could have been set in the same town almost, but just like a different group of people on the other side of the railroad tracks, right?
On the honey side of the railroad.
Honey side. Honey side. Yeah.
I thought this was one of your best books. I loved it.
I agree.
I thought it was great.
Oh
yeah, and I have to ask you the beehive. So, well, first, why don't you explain to people who might not have read what the beehive is?
So Granny B's book. So Granny, even though she's really not that old, she's like in her late 60s, but she's called herself Granny B, as in B-E-E, and she's always wearing these funny T-shirts that say like I'm a keeper, or you know, these funny like beekeeping T-shirts, and she's like kind of made herself this like queen bee of everything. And so her book club and her like best friends group calls them the Hive. And so the Hive are her best friends. And Bailey's best friend is part of the Hive too. And her grandmother, her abuela, Rosa, is part of the Hive too. And Granny B has 2 sisters, spinster sisters. I don't know if we're allowed to say spinster or not. Unwed, late in life, unwed sisters, who are part of the Hive too. So
it was,
yeah, and I thought that was great. Like,
so
who is your beehive? I wanted to know.
Oh, my beehive?
Yeah.
You know what? I just don't believe in having one beehive. So And my husband, because he's a beekeeper, I think is why he uses this term, but he always says, you're always cross-pollinating your friends. So like I have my writer hive, and then I have I've lived in the same town a long time, and I don't know if any of you are familiar with MOPS, Mothers of Preschoolers. It was like a group when my kids were little, and so I'm still best friends with like this group of women who we watched our kids grow up and went to high school together, or they all went to school together. So that's like my MOPS hive. And then I worked at a bank for like 25 years. So then I have like my Wells Fargo hive. And then I have you guys as a hive. Like, I just don't believe it. Like, I just have all those different bee boxes. I have a lot of hives. And then I like bringing them all together and cross-pollinating them with each other. So everybody meets everybody else.
That's how extroverts do it.
Yes, I was just thinking that. I was just thinking that. That's an extroverted answer.
Right.
Yes.
Well, so your husband is the inspiration with the beekeeping?
Yeah. So my husband is a beekeeper. So it's really kind of neat. I'll tell you this kind of neat thing that he did. So my husband kind of he started out as a park ranger. He's a parks guy. He's now executive director of parks in our county, but one of his nature centers, he really wanted to have a live beehive. So what that means is there's this huge display that has glass on both sides, and you can see the beehive on the inside, and then there's a tube that goes outside. So the bees come inside and you can see them on the glass. Kids can see them. And my husband can always find the queen, and I never can. I'm always like, well, there's a bunch of bees right there. But anyway, he just tells such fascinating stories about bees that I was like, oh, I have to do a beekeeper.
Well, it was just so charming and funny.
Charming's a good one.
And I would never reveal the ending, but I didn't see it coming.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming.
No.
I thought it was very, very well.
I switched it up a couple times. I was like, no, it's this. No. And then at the end, it was like, what? So,
yeah, I had a couple of those moments too. Yeah.
Good.
And I loved her best friend, Evie. I mean, everything about it was just so funny. Like,
so Evie Delgado Espinoza is actually patterned after one of my real best friends. So she's in my bank hive, and my friend Evie really is like a tall, gorgeous, curvy, like built like a brick house, Puerto Rican. She talks really fast. She used to be my boss, and we would just like fight back and forth with each other, and she talks really fast. And then we would just laugh harder than I laugh with so many people. So I adore her, and I just had to like make my character like Evie.
Well, and you have a dog and a teenager, both of which you're very good at.
And my dog is really patterned after my real dog, Cooper.
I wondered if Cooper was
like laying on the floor, literally right
there. And you always do such a great job with teenagers.
Oh,
in your cowboy books, I mean,
I have a goddaughter who is like 12 years old, and so I would just think about like, well, what would Leah do? What would and how would they act, and how would they react? And you can always, if you ever need somebody to do something dumb in your books, just throw in a teenager.
Always
teenagers do dumb things.
Yeah,
that's totally
true. That's true.
And when you something sort of almost you think happens to Daisy, and that was very well done too.
Yeah, that was very, very well done. And what I liked, Jenny, was you set up moments where I thought it was going to get really scary.
That was one of them. I thought it was going to get scary.
It ends up being okay. Yeah. So you get that emotion of, and then, but it ends up being okay. Okay.
Yeah, because I thought, oh my God, Jenny's going dark here.
And then she's going to go in Abbie territory.
Yeah, Abbie is like,
oh my God, Jenny's going dark. What?
You guys have read Abbie's books. Like, Abbie surprises me sometimes. I'm like, what the heck? Where is her mind? Yeah, you took some Abbie inspiration.
I have to say, it was adorable. Even the first scene where she is passing by the tractor, that was my favorite scene. I just thought that was so cute. like she's all frustrated and I've got to get past this guy, and just everything that happens there.
Well, and that's where
so what's your favorite scene?
Yeah.
Oh, my favorite scene is the break-in.
Oh, that's great too.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So somebody described my Evie and Bailey, their best friendship, and them in this book is kind of like Thelma and Louise meets Lucy and Ethel.
I see that.
Oh my God, that's such a great description. I love it. It's so, when she gets her foot stuck in the toilet, and
Yep.
he's like,
Yep.
It's so fun.
Oh, that's probably
I love that Evie just like abandons her. And
I had a lot of fun with the mortician, or not the mortician, the medical examiner, the county coroner, and the guy that kind of looks like Doc Brown, like a younger Doc Brown. I had a lot of fun having him be just kind of goofy and making jokes about life as a medical examiner.
Well, you really made me want to have met the mayor, because I could not figure out how a man like that could sweet talk so many people.
So many women.
Like, what kind of charisma he must have had to overcome, things that everyone would fall for it.
Yeah.
That's, people just want to see what they want to see. That's the way I took it.
You're right, Diana.
Like, people want to believe what they want to believe,
They want attention so often. I mean, like I just see clients all the time who are so desperate for attention. The most blatant, false person is right there, but they're giving them attention, so they just overlook.
See,
I described him as kind of looking like Michael Douglas, so he is kind of this like charming, he didn't look like Colonel Sanders. I mean, he looked like Michael Douglas,
right.
So he did just kind of charm people. And so,
but it's always with that kind of person, it's always more than looks, right? It is that they exude that kind of charisma that draws people to them.
Yeah.
So I thought it was a great choice for the victim. Somebody like that was a really great choice.
Oh, and I love this.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Sharon.
I think there's a delay. I'm sorry, Abbie. I was saying, because I know when Jennie writes, because I've plotted with her enough, that you always have a scene in mind before you start a book like that. One or two scenes comes to you. In this book, what was the first scene that came to you?
The tractor and falling into the ditch.
Okay.
So I knew that was going to happen. I really wanted to share some bee stuff, which I do have some fun bee facts to share with you guys. You guys want to hear some interesting bee facts?
Yeah.
You're actually really going to like these. Okay. So the first thing is, here's 5 fun facts about bees. So bees beat their wings 11,400 times in 1 minute.
Wow.
That's a lot. I know. Number 2, an average hive has 50,000 to 60,000 worker bees. Okay. So now here's where things get interesting. Okay. So only female bees can sting. Males don't have stingers. So in fact, the only thing that male bees do in the hive is eat and mate.
Huh.
Interesting.
That's not like real life at all.
So the males are called drones and the females are called workers, because the females do all of the work. They harvest the nectar, they clean the hive, they defend the hive.
Again, sounds like real life.
Right? They take care of the queen. And they only mate one time, because during the mating act, they like fly upside down. The males meet the female, and then the back part of their abdomen explodes and they die.
Oh my gosh!
Wait, the male dies?
You did go dark. You did go dark, Jenny. You went dark.
Yeah. So a male bee, his whole job is to eat and mate, and he only gets to mate one time, and then he dies. His abdomen explodes, and he dies. And if they haven't, this is better. If they haven't fulfilled their mating requirement by the time that it gets cold, because bees don't really live a long time, but if by the time it gets cold in the fall, the females basically just drag them out of the hive and let them freeze to death.
My God.
Oh my
Sad.
gosh.
So
I
dark.
kind of feel like all of this somehow needs to show up in my next mystery.
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of fun?
Well,
How many books are going to be in this series? Do you know?
So right now there's 2. The second one is written. The second one is called Kill or Be Killed. I actually have the cover. You guys are the only ones that ever get to see the cover, but I do have the cover. Oops, that's Google Maps. That's not going to show it to you. This is I'm the worst at this.
I love it.
I
cute.
love the
I
color.
love it.
Like the little dog looking in the window, and you can
Aw.
see the bee festival
Mhm.
notice in the window. And they did such a great job of like putting these little bees just like they're on the plates, and this is like the worst to show this like this. I don't know a better way to do this. We should
No,
learn
it's really cute.
how to do this.
Yeah, I love the cover.
So that's book 2.
That's book 2. Yes. It comes out next June. It's already written, it's already edited, it's already gone to production.
Oh,
Wow,
so
that's great.
Now we're talking about books 3 and 4.
Wow.
So there's kind of a little tiny cliffy. It solves the whole mystery in book 2, but there's a tiny cliffy at the end that makes you go, oh, there better be a book 3. So,
oh, good.
So now, can you reveal anything about book 2, like who the main characters are, or?
oh, it's all the same characters. Book 2 is the annual bee festival. And Granny runs the annual bee festival. There's a beauty pageant. There's a restaurant bake-off, which Evie is one of the contestants. And they've brought in this celebrity host from California. And he gets a little too handsy with Evie. And they get into a big altercation. And then he ends up dead. And she's the main suspect. So,
I want to know if Evie ends up with Griffin.
Yeah, I want to know this too.
well,
Maybe.
Look at her.
So I could tell from the first scene that Jenny's also a romance writer. I mean, the first meet happens.
Yeah, you know.
I know. And I did get a few little comments about that there might have been too much romance, but
Oh, really? Oh,
have
no.
too
That's
much
what I loved
romance.
about it. To me, there isn't enough romance in Cozy Mystery.
yeah. And there is a little
Yes, that was
mystery
very
about who Daisy's father is.
Yes, I saw that at the very end. She gets that letter.
Yep, there's a little love triangle happening a little bit. And so there's a lot happening in this book, I think.
Well, it's a really
for sure.
good first setup. Like, you've got a lot to work with for future books. That's what I liked about it, is that left me with some unanswered questions of the characters, not the mystery, the characters. That makes me think, oh, I can't wait to read the next book to learn more about Daisy and maybe who her father is and how Sawyer fits in and what's going to happen to Griffin and, all of those.
And then there's the mechanic, right? Like the sexy mechanic in there too, right?
Was that
yeah.
Evie's cousin or brother?
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of good-looking guys in this
There
book.
were a lot of good-looking guys in this book.
But
So I
there's
have to ask,
too.
like, one of your trademark abilities is to write these wacky, funny, like unexpected scenes, like a foot in the toilet, or someone gets their skirt eaten by a goat, or some sort of crazy that you're just like you're simultaneously mortified and laughing. So, and I know from you've told us this story before about how you had a snake down your shirt. So I have to know, do you have these kind of crazy things happen to you? Is it, just taken from your own life, or?
Sometimes, yeah, I really did have a snake down my shirt. Yeah, sometimes those things do happen. Sometimes awkward things happen, like my husband just got home, and hopefully he's going to shut the door behind me in a minute. So you might see a little. You might see a little sneak peek of Mr. Todd.
There is.
No. So, I had to leave the door open because the dogs were in here. So I write dogs in my books because I really do love dogs. Gosh, yes, crazy things do happen to me. I guess I'm kind of clumsy, and so I do fall down quite a bit. And yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of goofy, and I say dumb things. I put my foot in my mouth a lot. So some of them, but some of them I just totally make up. I just think what would be the funniest?
You do a good job
in this situation.
You know, you do a good job, because if I tried to be funny, it would be so fake, because that's just not how my brain works, but it's how yours works. You know what I mean? Like,
I think you can be funny.
I don't think
I love how Pam said if you've ever lived on a farm and had a goat, the skirt thing could really happen. Has read Never Enough Cowboy, where she accidentally spilled syrup on her skirt that morning, and then the goat is like has a tug of war with her skirt and rips her skirt off of her. So that's Never Enough Cowboy. So that really, I've never had a goat.
She's wearing like superhero underwear or something. Like
the best.
Right, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Jennifer, we actually have some questions, Jenny.
Okay.
Jennifer asks, she's got 2 questions here. How long does it normally take from thought to print for you to get a book finished and out to the public? And what was your favorite book to write?
Oh gosh. So longer than I want it to, is how long it takes to, and I'm usually pushing deadline, in a sad way. It usually takes me 3 to 4 months to write a book. And these books that, like the cowboy books and this book, they're all long. They're all 80,000 words at least. And so they're long books. So they do take probably 3 to 4 months to write. The fastest book I ever wrote, I don't know if it's my favorite. It's one of my favorites. The fastest book I ever wrote was called Hooked on Love, and it's a fly fisherman and a city girl. And I wrote that book in 1 month because I was just so everything about it. I was so excited about it. It was such a fun, like fly fishing romantic comedy. So that book I wrote in a month. That's the fastest book I wrote.
What's your favorite?
The horse rescue books are some of my favorites. Never Enough Cowboy is one of my favorite books. I feel like it's one of my funniest. The witty banter between them is funny. Readers just seem to go crazy over Every Bit a Cowboy, the hairstylist, and and you know what? My brand new book that's coming out October 10th, it might be my favorite. It is A Christmas Story, and it's a grumpy, grinchy.
I love that. I love that one.
Yeah. And
coming out like next week.
In about 2 weeks, I do have one coming out. It's 3 weeks, or maybe 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks, something like that. September 27th. It's called Love at First Cowboy.
And that's the prequel to that one is in your Wedding Tales anthology, right?
Yep. Save the Date for a Cowboy is the prequel, which I'm kind of melding the two worlds. What Sharon was talking about earlier, where the towns kind of seem the same. So I'm kind of melding the two worlds of Credence. So in that little novella is the wedding of from When a Cowboy Loves a Woman, Brody and Elle's wedding. And my new characters, he accidentally gets set up with the wrong bridesmaid, and they have a 2-night stand, and it's a little steamy. And so then Love at First Cowboy, which comes out in a couple of weeks, starts out with these 3 brothers. The series is 3 brothers: Ford, Chevy, and Dodge Lasseter, and they're all named after their deadbeat dad and the truck that their deadbeat dad drove away from them in. Mm-hmm. So these 3 brothers are like forged by abandonment and loss and the protectiveness they have over their grandparents, that took them in when their mom and dad abandoned them. And so Ford Lasseter is the hero, and he gets hired to fix up this rundown farmhouse, and it happens to be the gal that he met at the wedding, that he hasn't talked to and hasn't seen, the 2-night stand. And
that's got a great cover too. The one coming out.
Yeah, and I don't know exactly how to find that cover real quick. That would be great if I had that right.
Well, go ahead and look if you want to take a second. I wanted to read some comments. Like, Sue Harris was saying that a goat once tried to eat my shirt. It was very slobbery after I took it back out of its mouth.
That's awesome.
I can imagine. And we have some people saying that they love Christmas stories, and I haven't read Take the Honey and Run yet. I'm number 3 at the library. What goes inside hot spiced honey?
There are recipes in the back of this book.
Yeah. Tell us about the recipes, Jenny.
Yeah.
Okay, I will. I did find the cover of Love.
Oh, I love that
Beautiful.
cover.
I love that. I saw that cover before.
Yeah.
That is a great cover. Yeah.
I love it.
Love It First Cowboy.
Love it first cowboy.
So what's really fun about the recipes in the back of the book, let me tell you a little bit about some of this, is so I put some recipes in the book, and then my mom, who is an excellent cook, she's like, well, you can't just put recipes there. We have to test them all out. So we had this whole day where my mom came over at like 9 o'clock in the morning. We had ingredients everywhere. And we made a whole bunch of different variations. So we made like 3 different variations of the hot spiced honey, which is essentially like honey, chili flakes. What's the other thing in it? I can't remember the other thing in it. But we made different variations of the whipped ricotta cheese that's drizzled with the hot spiced honey. So there's kind of a citrusy one and there's kind of a cinnamony one. And then we had my family over, and we like tested out, like we would give them, okay, here's these 3 things to try. And like my father-in-law and my husband are used to 5 o'clock, you sit down, the food is presented to you, you eat. They are not used to having like one food item at a time passed to them, and then it has to get all explained to them before they can even take a bite. And then they only get 2 or 3 bites, and then it's taken away. Like
They're not great taste testers.
Like, what is happening here? So we did, my favorite one were the cream cheese casitos. And that recipe is coming out in my newsletter next. So if you haven't signed up for my newsletter,
how about the pickle and cream cheese pinwheels?
So I bet you everybody has that recipe. Doesn't everybody? Don't you guys know?
I don't think I've ever had that. I was like, I
was like, is this a real thing?
Yeah.
Like, no.
Oh, well, no, I've had it with pimento cheese. The pimento cheese and cream cheese.
Anybody
but no, with pickles.
If you know what a cream cheese pickle pinwheel thing is, that's always at like every potluck, please say you know what that is.
I've never had it, never seen it.
Not with pickles.
So funny.
No, pimento cheese. Pimento cheese.
It's like a tortilla shell, and you put like cream cheese and pickles in there, and you roll it up and cut it in these little pinwheels. I don't know. It's a Midwest thing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess
I don't get the pickles.
I've never had it.
And there's pickles.
It's confusing.
Someone said pickled cream cheese.
Pickle on top of the cream cheese.
You can't figure it out.
Come on.
Okay,
help me. Okay, look,
Sue's
Sue
had it a few times. So there you go. There you go.
Thank you, Sue.
Oh, and Steph has done, she said a thing called Mexican rolls like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. And somebody else says they've made them, but just not with pickles. So,
oh my gosh. Allison just put a story in. I had a friend that had a goat named Cinnamon. She used to tickle it on the rear, and it would attack anyone in front of it. Or she'd tickle it when someone was in front of it. I scrambled up the enclosure so many times. I would have made a great rodeo clown dodging the bull. I think that has to go in one of Jenny's stories.
Yeah,
that's good.
Tickle the goat to like get him to attack someone. Oh, there we go. Look at somebody says that was a fancy appetizer when I was in my 20s. Pinwheel.
Jenny, I think you need to include the recipe for that.
I know, because I was trying to picture. I didn't understand.
Just a Midwest thing. I don't know.
We have some people telling us that they're reading some of your books here.
Oh,
nice.
So looking forward to reading it. And I think someone else had said something about, I just ordered, Pam did.
Oh, yeah.
Ordered Love at First Cowboy after reading Story and Wedding Tales. So,
your story, Wedding Tales, is fabulous.
It was very good.
Well, I hope you love their story as it continues.
Oh, of
course.
You always say that.
So Jenny, you're
Jennie Marts
on deadline. You're always on deadline. How do you do it? Like, and readers don't know, but like we have little chats here and there, and she's like, I got 3 days to write 40,000 words. I'm exaggerating, but
And turn in edits on something else.
Yeah, that's Jenny's life.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is my life. That's because I'm not organized enough to like work quickly ahead. Like, and I tell myself, okay, I'm going to just start. I'm going to parcel this out. I'm going to do good this time. And then life happens. And all of a sudden the deadline just gets closer and closer. And I think, oh, I'm going to write 4,000 words today. And then I write 897 instead. And
so what are you working on right now? Because
Love at First Cowboy that's coming out in 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you got the pre-order up. I
have the pre-order up and I have
document. Okay.
It was very sad to me to have to push the pre-order. I just couldn't finish the book in time.
Oh,
so
I didn't know you pushed the pre-order.
I pushed the pre-order back 3 weeks because I just couldn't do it. And I was making myself sick and I just couldn't make it in time. So for those of you
I mean, honestly, you have a juggling act that is just amazing
seriously.
to me. Yeah.
Well, writing for so many different publishers and then doing your own work.
And so for the readers that don't know, if you publish traditionally, you turn in the book and it doesn't come out for a year. If you are indie publishing it yourself, you could be a terrible person like myself and not be done with it 3 weeks before it's actually supposed to come out. And you upload it like 3 days before it actually comes out. So that's my deadline is 2 weeks.
Somehow fabulous.
So,
yeah, it is. Still be great.
Amazing. Yeah.
So if anybody in the list is like a super fast reader and wants to do an ARC review and have an ARC copy like 2 days before it comes out, let me know. Because I know Allison is already one of my ARC reviewers. So Allison, if you can read a book real fast and get out a review real fast, I might send you the ARC of it.
Jennifer wants to know, how long does your editor give you to write a book before your deadline? I guess it depends.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, did we just lose Diana?
Diana. She'll be back.
Yeah, she'll come back.
I think it just depends. It just depends. Sometimes they give you a year to write it. This next B book doesn't come out for another year.
What happened there?
Between books. So.
Sorry, guys. I just disappeared.
You just disappeared, but you're back.
That was weird. Yeah. In a whole different spot. We all.
I know. It feels weird because I feel like we almost always in the same spots or something. And now
I know. I'm in the wrong spot.
Yeah.
Well, what that tells you about the spots is who shows up early and who shows up late. That's what I'm usually down in the corner. Diana's always.
That is funny because Diana's always over there at the top right, top left.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a poll for you guys because somebody asked a question about how hard is it to pick a title and cover for your book. So I'm really struggling with the title because I want to have the next book in this series, in the Love at First Cowboy. I want to have the next book in the series up for pre-order in a few weeks. And so I'm struggling with the title. So I've got 2 titles for you. And I want you guys to tell me which one you like better. So it's a story about a cowboy, like an outgoing cowboy and a librarian. And the 2 titles are either Checking Out the Cowboy or Overdue for a Cowboy.
I like the Overdue.
I like the Overdue.
I'm probably not supposed to vote, but yeah.
No, I want you to vote. I don't know which to do for.
I like Overdue too.
I like Overdue.
Yeah.
Overdue for a Cowboy.
Yeah.
It's the title is so teasy. Like, you know.
Can you tell that's a library thing? Like,
well, checking out could mean just like I'm looking at.
Right? Yeah, it could just be watching.
Kind of like,
do you think people are going to think she's pregnant, like Overdue for?
Oh, I didn't think of that. Says the woman.
No, I think I think right. That's exactly where my mom. I've been overdue for a long time, many times, and in the past.
I think our comments are all overdue.
Yeah,
I think it's
overdue for a cowboy.
I think it's cute.
I like it.
I think it's cute too.
And does it give kind of a librarian vibe?
Yeah, I mean, and the cover will help with that too.
Yeah.
Well, the library, the cover has a truck, you know, that all the covers have to have a truck on it because their names are Ford, Chevy, and Dodge. So I
Oh.
don't know, maybe I could get the cover artist to put some books in the bed of the truck, or I don't, or
I
Yeah,
wouldn't
that's
worry
a
about
great
it.
idea.
Yeah.
Maybe the cowboy's holding a book. What's sexier than that?
Diana does have a point.
So yeah, I thought checking out was like, you know, checking out a book, but also checking out.
Yeah, that's
But
cute.
apparently,
All right, we have to do a more
Cowboy-
official poll in the group, and then we can get, you know.
Yeah.
Oh
I
yeah.
do. I tend to like overdue.
Okay. Thank you. I needed that.
You know, the other thing I always do too is I always check Amazon to see like, are there 800 other books with that same
Yeah, there's
title?
not. There's not.
That's good.
I did. Yeah, I always check.
I do too.
I liked Once Upon a Cowboy, and there's like 7 of those.
Wow.
So yeah.
So are you also doing the third title as well?
Yeah,
or are
the
you trying to?
title I think is going to be Happily Ever Cowboy.
Oh, I love that.
So
which
and
one?
the
Which
third-
one is this? The second one is Dodge.
The second one is Dodge, and and I think the premise is going to be, which somebody just asked, do you do research for before writing your book? Here's the research right here. I talk to my girlfriends and say, do you think this is a good idea? I think it's going to be, so he's a reader. They're both kind of shy. She's like, they went to school together. She's like had a crush on him for like her whole life, and she's a librarian. And I think I want the main character of Love at First Cowboy to start kind of a secret book club, but only invite the 2 of them.
Oh, I love that.
So only the 2 of them like show up in this book club, and they don't realize that they're like this book. They just think no one else showed up.
Oh, that's
and then maybe like she talks him into, she does a bookmobile and she drives out to all the kids, the farm kids in the summer who can't get into the library. And so I thought it would be fun to have him like bring along like a pig or something to help with the kids, help the kids read, or I don't know. Something.
You always got to have a pig, right, Jenny? You got to get a pig in there somehow.
And a goat. And a goat.
And a goat. There is no goat in this. There is an animal.
There will be. There will be.
There's a really
there will be a goat.
Cute animal. So
yeah, you should eventually, if you do have another pig, you have to let the readers name your pig, because Tiny is the pig I remember most. So
I know. So I should let you guys help me name this little cute little miniature animal that shows up in this next book, because I'm really going back and forth between Judith, Vera, and Phyllis.
For the pig?
Oh wow.
No, for the new animal that shows up in the new book.
Okay. Those are all
should I just say what it is?
Yeah.
I don't know.
What is it?
Is it a secret?
Is it a secret?
Someone says Vera. Lori says Vera.
Oh.
I like Phyllis.
Vera, Phyllis, or Judith. Okay, I should say what it is. It's a miniature donkey.
Oh my God, that's gonna be adorable.
Yeah.
Vera. I like Vera.
Is a miniature.
I'm going with the Vera now that I know what the animal is.
I might go Vera for a mini donkey too.
Vera, Judith. Come here, Judith. Come here, Vera.
Yeah.
This is how I practice and figure out my names. Is I just call out to my fictional animals.
I think Judith is more a llama. I think.
Yes. That's her next series.
I do want to put a llama in the next book, so maybe Judith is the llama.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
readers are liking Vera too.
Yeah, everyone loves Vera.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Her name is Petunia, but I thought it would be more fun to give her like a real lady name.
Oh, I like Vera. I really like Vera.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I think her name's going to be Vera. Wow. Allison, you're going to get to read the book now. You've heard some spoilers. Now you know there's going to be a mini donkey in the book.
Is this the book you're writing right now that's doing?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize. I thought it was the next.
I thought it was the next book too.
All right, I want to be in the ARG team.
Yes, I'm writing.
She is actively working on her book right now, guys.
Yes. I was late to this to our meeting because I was working on a like against the wall steamy scene.
Oh,
Mm.
like okay, like literal
Yeah.
in the book against the wall.
Yeah,
not
like
up against the time wall.
no, like the couple against the wall, like the heroine against the wall. Yeah, so this one's got some little steam to it. But
So what do you prefer? Do you prefer steam or not steam? Writing.
I like a little steam. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because, you know, my readers know I do both. You know, I have my Hallmark books, which they don't kiss until the very, very end. That's Hallmark's rules. Oh, and that's so funny. Who is just saying Jeanette on Ada? I don't have my glasses on. I can't exactly see what that says right there. But a Jeanette is a female donkey. And so somebody here knows.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that
A
either.
female donkey is called a Jeanette or a Jenny. Which here's the story of my like birth, and my parents named me, and my dad named me Jennifer and said they were going to call me Jenny. And my great aunt is like, why do you want to name your beautiful baby after an ass? That's like one of my childhood stories. So yeah. I know.
I did not know that about it.
I don't have my glasses on.
Yeah.
I think it's Ada. Is that right? Lavonda is saying, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's funny.
Jeanette. Yeah, it's a Jeanette.
Has quite a few fun comments in there.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. So there
Thanks
you go.
for hanging out with us tonight.
Oh my gosh.
You guys had no idea when you
No.
showed up tonight what was going to happen. You were going to be part of the research of some stories. You were going to
And
be
Jenny was going to give some childhood trauma. You know?
Oh my gosh.
exactly.
Your grandma sounds like a hoot, and you do the best grandmas. You just
Oh, you
absolutely
do.
the best grandmas.
Well, I was very close to my grandmas, and my grandmas were like crazy hoots, and so they both of them just would make me laugh so hard. So anyway,
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. so a lot of my grandma characters are kind of crosses between both of my grandmas. And I'll just give you a little tiny hint. In the next book coming up in this series, there's a beauty pageant, the Bee Festival pageant, and they don't have enough entrants. So the bee pageant, there's a chance that it's not going to go through. This is in the very beginning, so I'm not giving it a spoiler, but there's a chance they don't have enough. And so the two sisters just may have to join the beauty pageant.
Oh my
Oh, I love it.
gosh.
The 70-year-olds. Why can't I say their names right now? Oh, Aster and Marigold. Yeah, the older unmarried women.
That's one of my favorite things about the older women that you write is that they have full lives. You
Yeah.
know, they're out there and they're, you know, they've got boyfriends and they have their book clubs and they're doing all these fun things and microbrews and all this fun stuff. I love that.
Cocktail times and tea.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, tea. Getting their tea.
Their microbrewed tea.
Yeah, exactly. And they actually shock the younger generation.
Yeah,
with their-
that's what I
their
love about
antics,
them.
which I think is fun. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
and I really like that this happens in my Page Turners mysteries and in this one and several of my books. I really like bringing generations together, you know, and having working at a bank. You know, I worked with women older than me. I worked with women younger than me, women in my life. Some are older, younger. My sister is 10 years younger than me. I just think it's really so wonderful to have intergenerational friendships and having friends that are different ages than you and learning from each other.
I agree.
Yeah.
Do you
No,
have
I
like
agree.
a natural ear for dialogue with these different generations? Because it seems to me that it's very natural. Your dialogue is very on point. So do you find that you just have a natural, affinity for dialogue?
I don't know. Sometimes I just call my dad, who is like a farmer in a small town in Kansas, and I spend 20 minutes on the phone with him, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, my dad just said "gall dern" like 4 times, and So it's like I talked to my dad. I'm like, okay, there's their dialogue right there. Or I talked to I spent 3 hours in the car this summer with my 12 and 10-year-old niece, and just hearing the funny things that come out of their mouths, I'm like, oh, that's going in the book.
Well, Pam says she's loving Aunt Sassy in the Created series, and I love Aunt Sassy. She was a great character.
I have a lot of fun with her in the new Christmas book, which I was trying to see if I had a picture of the cover for the Christmas book.
That's a great cover too.
Yeah, and that one is coming out just like I have 2 books, bam, bam, coming out. They weren't supposed to happen like that. One was supposed to be early September, and one was supposed to be later. But somebody gave me like a real nice review, and I took a picture of it. That's what happens. Somebody said, cozy Christmas romance, one of the best I've read. Beautiful, swoony, definitely worth reading. Full review on AMP. So I took a picture of it. That's what we do, is we just wait for someone to say something great about our books, and then we take a picture of it.
Yeah.
So that, and I know that was a hard book for you to write. So I'm so happy.
It was, and yet I love it so much. It is so fun. And there's a lot of fun puns about, this cowboy says, well, one of the great things about being a Grinch is I have things that grow 2 sizes. Maybe not as hard, but
yeah.
So,
go ahead.
No, go ahead, Diane.
All right. I was just going to say that I think is it Adaya? Lavanda says, are you attending any book conventions in 2024?
Oh, I am going to be at Readers Take Denver. For sure. I'm already signed up to go to Readers Take Denver. I would love to go to
what month is that in?
April,
okay.
I think, or March or April.
I'd love it if the 4 of us could go to.
Oh, I got her name correct. Yay!
Oh, yay! Adaya. Okay, yay. I totally blew it. Sorry. People do that to me too. So, yeah, that's the one I know for sure. It's hard. I don't think we have as many conventions as we used to and conferences as we used to be able to show up at. So, but I'm
going to Steamy Lit. I'm going to Steamy Lit next year because
you are.
It was so much fun. Yeah, I already signed up. It's
out in California, right?
That's in California. Yeah. So if anybody's around, please come see me because we had a ball. It was fun. It was small enough that you really got to meet everyone, and it was like just had a very nice tone to it. Everyone was so kind.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Well, Readers Take Denver is huge already. It's being run by Lisa Renee Jones, and a bunch of the proceeds go to help like animals that have large veterinary bills, like people that, I guess the people, not the animals, but I don't know.
They can be super expensive.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, I know this question, but other readers might know. How important are book reviews for us?
Very.
So important. So important.
We love book reviews.
Yeah.
We love them.
Go ahead, Abbie.
I tell people that reviews are like an author's lifeblood. We truly need them to survive in the industry. That's how important they are. Mm-hmm. And even if they're not long, if you just say, hey, I love this character or even that's great. Just, we really want reviews badly.
Well, and they can make or break an author's career. If you don't have enough reviews, you're not getting another contract.
Right.
And you have no control over that. So if you love a book or really love the author, leave a review, because it's not necessarily the best reviews. It's the number of reviews. And I don't know if the rule is still 50 on Amazon, but until you hit 50 reviews, the bots still don't kick it. So you can't be on anybody's also bought lists or see also lists. There's no indexing done unless you have 50 reviews. It doesn't have to be 55 star, it can be 51. It doesn't matter. It just, the number matters.
Yeah.
And people have lost contracts because they didn't get enough reviews. So reviews are huge.
And you don't have to like synopsize the book, you can just say like, I loved this book so much, the characters moved me, I related to the characters, I highly recommend it, I enjoyed this, or it doesn't have to be long. I just left a review today for an audiobook that I finished.
And the other thing is, I have to be honest, they have to be Amazon reviews. Like Oh, really? A publisher does not care if they're on Goodreads or BookBub. They don't care because the bots run off of Amazon. If you don't have them on Amazon, it doesn't matter if you have 500 reviews on Goodreads. It absolutely does not matter.
Well, and here's the other honest truth. There are days when writers just get down, and this is hard, and it's a hard job to do, and you doubt yourself, and we get imposter syndrome. And if you get a review that says like, I loved your book, I loved your writing, something, it can just change your whole day. It can make your, it can just change everything for you. And it just touches our heart so much. So if you ever wonder, like, should I go to this author's website and send them a message and tell them I love this book? Yes, do it. So it means so much to us.
So Lori's asked, do reviews count for backlist or current? They count for both. And the interesting thing about reviews is that if you have books in a series and 3 have 50 reviews or more and the fourth one does not, all of them are suppressed. So if they're tied together in a series, it's really important for every book to get a minimum of 50 reviews. So even if it's an old book, it doesn't matter because it all counts, and it's all done by bots. So it all counts. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And thank you for asking. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
It counts like that, but it also counts in our hearts.
It does. It does absolutely count. Like there are days when you want to quit and someone leaves you a nice review. You're like, okay, maybe I'll try
and
one
how
more
sweet
day.
is this comment?
Oh,
we're so glad.
Thank you.
We had such a ball tonight, guys. It was so much fun. Yeah. So we have just a couple more minutes. Jenny, did you want to say anything else before?
Yeah, I don't think so. I was just random all over the place tonight. So I do not.
It was so much fun. I had a ball.
Yes.
So much fun.
These are the best nights.
Yeah. You guys, thanks for showing up tonight.
Jenny, okay, what book in the series are Sawyer and Bailey going to kiss?
They might.
I need to know
the next one. They might smooch too. They just
might.
They might. Okay.
They might smooch. Yeah.
Okay. What about Evie? Does she get
Griffin
somewhere?
So, can you guys really picture Griffin? Do you like how I like?
Oh yes, I love him.
Young Wolverine, like he's like huge.
Yes, that was a great description without the nail things.
Yeah, without the.
Or the funny beard, the mutton beard.
In the next book too. Yeah, he's definitely in the next book.
Okay, good. That makes me very happy.
So. Yes, me too.
Well, this was so much fun, Jenny. It's always so much fun to talk to you and to read your books. It's just delightful. Okay. And thank you, everyone. We had a ball chatting with all of you and catching up. And we will see you next month when we are going to be interviewing Angelina M. Lopez with Full Moon Over Freedom. Don't you love that
so
cover?
Excited.
Oh my God, she's so fantastic. Yep. Oh my God, she's so much fun, guys. You got to be here September 29th, 7 p.m. We'll see you then.
Hey, hold on before we go. Wait. Before we go. Wait. Don't forget to fall into a book giveaway.
I forgot.
Thursday, September 21st. I had to get the number 21st. Wait. The four of us are showing up.
Right.
Wait,
is that right?
What?
September, are you sure it's the 21st?
I thought it was the 26th. Isn't it the
21st?
You talking about the Fall Into a Book giveaway, guys?
Yeah. My God.
It's the Thursday when we are appearing.
It's the 21st. You're right.
It's the 21st.
It is.
I'm like, have I printed every graphic wrong?
I'm glad you stopped us because.
Yes, the four of us will be there on Thursday, the 21st, doing our giveaways. We each have multiple giveaways going, so it'll be a full day pregame kickoff.
Multiple giveaways, and we'll have fun things like tote bags and fun things like that to give you guys. So make sure you show up.
And then the 22nd and 23rd is when all craziness breaks loose of fun author giveaways. We have 371 authors lined up. And many of them give away more than one thing. They're extremely generous. Really? So just make sure that you're showing up in the book club.
And keep an eye on Abbie's pinned comments at the top. If there's any issues, that's where she will be putting all of the information.
Right. And if you guys have any issues or problems, just tag any of us
Yeah.
or message any of us, and we'll do our best to help you out.
Yeah. So we're giving away on Thursday, and then we're moderating
Friday and
everybody
Saturday.
else. So we'll be
The
there the
whole
whole weekend.
We'll be there.
And for those of you who participated in our summer reviews, thank you so much.
Yes.
We hope you enjoyed it as much as we did.
Yeah,
Yep.
we had to,
And thank you so much for coming tonight. It just means, I think it's fun when people get to watch it, later. Of course, it's all fun, but it's so much fun having you guys here and having you participate and
It makes it.
do the comments. And we just love it. We just love you guys so much.
Yeah, we do. We appreciate all of you being
Right.
here.
Thanks, guys. Now,
Good night. Thank you.
Bye.